I found something that belonged to the brave man. And a place that he might have been recently.
Mom, is he alive?
I don't know.
Welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, guys. Jarrell here.
And I'm Josh, and today we're here to discuss the Rick Grimes / CRM. Are they telling Rick Grimes lies, keeping him from coming back to his family and his community?
Yeah, guys, so this video is basically rooted around a comment that we saw. So a big shout out to Group of Gamers Inc. 194. Thank you so much. We are definitely excited about this topic. So basically the gist of this conversation is we've mentioned many times as to, Rick Grimes has been gone for over 6 years. Why hasn't he made it back to Alexandria and his family?
And we've thrown out theories of such.
Yes.
Could it be amnesia?
Mm-hmm.
Could he being held captive and not getting back to his... Could there be so much distance that he simply can't make it back, which we've kind of debunked?
Yeah.
But what is keeping Rick Grimes from making it back to his family?
Yep. So... once again, shout out to Group of Gamers Inc. 194. So what he mentions is, I think it's perfectly plausible that with the technology they have, that they lied to him and said that all of the communities were wiped out by a horde or by other hordes, and they showed him maybe pictures or videos of it and made him think his entire family and friends are dead. He was basically saying that not a lot of people have kind of talked about this angle. So definitely a good conversation because...
that is wonderful, actually. I mean, that makes perfect sense because...
hordes are still out there.
Yeah. Let's start with this. We know Rick Grimes is the type of guy that is going to, no matter what the situation is, make it back to his family. He's already proved that. Mm-hmm. So he's going to try everything he can. But why would you try when you know they're already dead? There's no point in going back for them.
Yeah. I mean, we would have to assume, let's say that they do have video of it. What's a good video that CRM could show Rick to possibly make him think that Hilltop has been destroyed? Because it has. Hilltop's been destroyed. But we would have to assume that somebody from CRM was in the woods filming this whole attack.
He could show a video of the kingdom being destroyed because it fits in the timeline. The kingdom was destroyed after Rick Grimes left, right?
That's true. Yeah. They can go
mean,
to Hilltop. They can go to Kingdom. Everybody's out of Alexandria. They can go film in Alexandria. Everyone's gone. Yeah. Oceanside's gone. They could be like, no one's here.
Yeah.
It's been 6 years.
And that's the key, right? He's gonna...
But that's 6 years later, though. I mean, even still.
Yeah, that's 6 years. It doesn't necessarily mean that Rick was out for 6 years, right? In a freaking coma. Wouldn't that be some shit, man? If he slipped into another coma, wakes up in a second coma, like...
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I think it fits better than anything because I think we've already even got a little bit of information that he is going to have memories.
Yes, from Scott Gimple from Comic-Con. I think our amnesia window is out the door. Now, he could still have a little amnesia, but I think it's not going to be to the extent to where we were thinking he doesn't know who he is. And the only people who would know who he is would either if he runs into Heath, Jadis, and that's pretty much it. But... yeah, from what Scott Gimple has said, he's going to have his memories. Yeah. It's going to be a different Rick, but he is going to know who he is. But that's the question. 6 years. 6 years. What lies could CRM tell him? The biggest one, all the communities are wiped out by hordes.
Yeah, and the biggest question about that is what we talked about. How do you prove that?
That was just what I was going to say. Yeah. For Rick, he would want proof.
Yeah.
Absolute proof. Now, you could go back to, okay, what about that cell phone that was drawn with Japanese letters and it had Michonne and an older Judith on there? Well, that's still a mystery right now.
It makes no sense.
I have no idea.
Like, no one knows about that. Like,
well,
I think we looked up the phrase of it and we know what it says.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but that's an older Judith. That's Judith 6 years. Like after the time jump, that's Judith right now.
It makes no sense.
I don't get that part. I hope they close that open.
But I mean, it makes sense. It really does. I don't know how you prove to a Rick Grimes that your friends are dead. Hey, dude, sorry.
I mean, trying to think of what other lies that CRM could tell him, because I mean, if Rick does have his full memory and he doesn't have massive amounts of amnesia, what? I don't know. Because he's going to be talking with them, like. Yeah. Have you seen our communities? Have you heard our community? About our communities?
Absolutely.
And what are they gonna? They'll probably just lie and say, "No, we haven't been really that far east."
Yeah, I mean, you got to think: is CRM even aware? And I think I've brought this up. Is CRM even aware of groups like the Whisperers or Negan's group? These bad characters out there, or these other factions? Are they even aware of other communities? Right. I mean, we know they were aware of the Junkyard, but that was Jadis because they were connected to that.
Well, with maybe Jadis's communication, they probably could be aware.
We always thought Jadis was some type of spy. So it's plausible. It's plausible that they are aware of other communities out there. Mm-hmm. It's just, how do they divulge their information to Rick as to say, hey, stay here, dude, because there's nothing out there.
Yeah. And plus, okay, if Pollyanna McIntosh is in this movie, it does sound like she's going to be, what is she going to tell Rick?
Yeah, well, they might just separate.
They might.
Yeah. I've always believed that her character Jadis, unfortunately, will probably have a quick end. I think they're going to have her in it, but something happens.
Because I do agree with you. It'd be something to where they would put her down, lock and key, and be like, "You cannot divulge any information to him. You've given us the information. You cannot speak with him."
Especially when she tells them who he is and what he's done. Imagine that.
Dude, yeah.
I mean, then they know that they really have an asset, and their goal now is to keep this guy where they can.
That is true, because when they get back, she's going to have to explain, okay, why did you go to so much trouble to save his life?
And he's going to go straight to the operating room. Yeah. So he's going to be out for, quite some time.
Yeah. Oh, God. There's going to be so much craziness in this movie.
Can you imagine the first scene of the movie, Rick Grimes waking up in a hospital bed the same way that he wakes up in the first episode, and he's approached by doctors this time instead of nothing, instead of wilted flowers.
That's going to be so eerie.
Dude,
I guarantee you what they're going to do. They're going to have him wake up. They're going to have him turn his head. There's going to be flowers there, right? And then somebody's going to come in and say, "Oh, you're awake."
Dude, you know how much of a brain F that would be for him? Because now he's going to wake up and be like, did I just dream the past 7-8 years? Mm-hmm. And I'm looking over at flowers?
Yeah. Well,
dude, screw that.
I mean, we know that Rick's been gone 6 years, but we probably know that first movie is going to be right after the events of when he disappeared, basically. Maybe a couple months afterwards. It won't be 6 years in. If they do 3 movies, by the third one, then it will probably get to the proper time jump. Yeah. But, I mean, yeah, guys, CRM could have many, many different lies. I think what we're talking about here, I think the Horde one would really work because, yes, it would be hard to get evidence, but if they have it, they could show a burnt down hilltop, they could show a deserted kingdom, Alexandria, and be like, when we rescued you, the Hordes just went crazy. Your people...
How far is this movie? We don't even know the timeline of the movie.
No, we don't know that yet.
So, in theory, what if CRM takes him back to the communities and they're not there? Because maybe it's not the same timeline as our current timeline right now.
I know. I'm getting
maybe
so
2
confused.
Seasons from now,
that's true.
Our communities get wiped out.
Yeah. And
they move to this bigger community that Eugene is at, right?
Yeah.
So now CRM takes him to what Alexandria used to be. Right. So they very well could do that in the movie.
Yeah, I keep messing up my timelines. I keep saying that Hilltop was burned and Kingdom was burned, but that was after the 6-year time jump. I'm speaking of he's going to be asking questions immediately once he's out of surgery, and that's going to be months after he was taken away, not 6 years. So well, that's where my head's getting crazy.
Yeah, but our communities are still around at that time.
They are at that time.
What I'm saying is maybe there's a bigger time skip for the movie.
For the first movie?
And our communities eventually get wiped out.
Okay. Yeah, I gotcha. It could make sense.
It would make sense that because look, the only way to prove to this guy that his family's not there is taking him to a community that's not there anymore.
Right. That would be true.
I mean, it's hard to sell that you're going to give Rick Grimes a photo of a herd at the Alexandria gates and say, yeah, your community was wiped out based upon this photo.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, guys, we'll definitely think of any more lies that they can come up with. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty more, but the ones that we thought of at first were pretty good. You know, he's being held captive. He has amnesia. But this one about trying to convince him that a horde or hordes wiped out many communities, including his, and they're gone. And you don't have to go back because you can stay with us.
I mean, I'm simply saying maybe they don't need to convince him. Maybe it actually does happen.
Yeah.
Like Alexandria eventually does get wiped out.
And they go to the Commonwealth.
Exactly.
Yeah, guys. So let us know what you think in the comments, guys. Thank you so much for giving us that information to talk about. We definitely look at the comments and take a lot of questions and theories that you guys throw at us. We may do a video on it, or we may bring it up in a different video that's related, but definitely comment below. Make sure you give the video a quick like, subscribe if you're new, help us get to our 10K subs. We truly appreciate it. And we're done for tonight.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next time. I'm Jarrell.
I'm Josh.
We're NocBro Nation.
We're out.